everybody and welcome back. So today I'm bringing you along on a very special Brontë adventure as we step inside the Brontë Birthplace here in Thornton. My daughter and I, we're staying the night here in the Emily room upstairs. And I'm really excited and I can't wait to share the experience with you. We're going to explore the comfort, the charm, and all those little details that makes this stay unique. So grab yourself a cup of tea and let's dive in. So I'm really excited to be here because I've not stayed in the birthplace before and I've always said I want to come back and actually stay here. So the lovely people here at the birthplace have said, come along, stay the night, experience everything. So here we are. My daughter has kindly come with me, Emily. It's half term and she's very excited. She's really wanted to come here because she loves history. So she's really, wanting to see what it's like to stay here. She's also going to help with some of the filming, so there might be moments when we have a little bit of a camera wobble, because one thing about my Emily is, bless her, she giggles, and she giggles a lot. And when she giggles, of course, yeah. So the chances are some of the filming will be a little bit shaky, but that just adds to the charm, I'm sure. But, I still can't get over that I'm here. It's 5:30 and everyone's gone for the night. And at the moment, it's just me and my Emily here. There is someone else staying in one of the other rooms, but at the moment, it's just us in the house. And Anna's very kindly allowed us to have a mooch around whilst we're here, hence why we're in here on our own. But I'm sitting here kind of thinking, I'm sat in front of the fireplace where the Brontë children would have sat and kept warm, where they would have played games, card games, listened to their father reading the Bible. I'm actually here where they would have been. I might actually be sat in a very same spot that Charlotte sat, or Anne played a game of cards, or yeah, you can tell I'm a little bit overexcited. But the other side of this is, of course, it's hard not to have heard the rumours of ghosts. So I'm a little bit apprehensive. My daughter is smiling at me from behind the camera. She's very excited about the idea. I am less so. So I'm not going to go into that now because I don't want to get myself scared. But we will see what comes of a night in a house where multiple people have reported hearing things, and yeah. Okay, we'll see how we get on. But we've had quite a busy day. So the plan is we're going out for a meal this evening, Ems and I, and then we're going to come back later and we're just going to chill out and soak up the atmosphere of the place and, just read and just have a bit of time, me and her together, because you know what it's like, life gets busy. And I really enjoy curling up with my girl and just chatting sometimes. So I'm looking forward to that tonight. No distractions.
Apart from the ghost.
She's just said apart from a ghost. Oh, she's giggling. What a surprise. So we will see. Right. Let's go and have a look round. Oh, and also I forgot to say, they've been so kind. They're allowing us to look into some of the cabinets. So I'm going to have a look now. I'll let you have a look too. Ooh. I'm getting old. I'm making that noise when you stand up. Oh no! Nothing like being offered a cup of tea and a piece of cake when you turn up, even if I did have to share the cake with Emily. So we are going to ask some ghost questions because we all know that the birthplace has a reputation for having a ghost. Meet Anna Gibson, the general manager and a great tea maker. So, come on, let's hear it from you direct.
So we call him Gary because it is impossible to be afraid of a ghost called Gary, and I spend a lot of time here on my own.
Gary, that's great.
So we know the gentleman that lived here before us told us on the day that he moved in, he got pots and pans thrown at him in a very aggressive way. And I don't know if that was a personality issue. We've never had anything quite that extreme. The builders say that things disappeared at an extraordinary rate, and the architect did not like going down into the cellar at all. And the cellar, it's very small. It's just a little curve round and then a room that has a pipe that drops down. So there's always a spooky breeze in there, which I think sets people off because they're like, oh, it's got colder when I walk in here. I'm like, yes, that's the pipe.
Ventilation. So is the cellar just under?
It is underneath the parlour.
Right.
And you enter through the scullery.
So it's just that section of the house as well?
Yes.
So nothing under this section?
Not as far as we're aware.
That you found?
That we found. There is supposed to be a random void space at the back of the house where it's built into the hill.
Okay.
Which I haven't found, but plays on my imagination.
Yeah.
So we're talking about Gothic literature, what you can't see becomes terrifying.
What's behind the wall?
The wall crevice.
Yep.
So I've been down there a few times, felt perfectly normal, sorting out my boxes or cleaning things, and the hairs on the back of my neck go up and it feels like someone's breathing, and I'm like, okay, time to leave.
Okay, limited time in the cellar.
Limited time alone in the cellar. The doors in that room swing open freely whenever they feel like it. And old houses, of course,
yep, drafts.
It's always at a time that feels quite pointed. My friend Kate, who has been here on her own in the evenings, she walks around Charlotte's room, and she stopped walking and the footsteps kept going, which is the one that always stays with me.
Yeah.
My co-worker Charlotte, who is very into her ghosts and desperately wants us to have a ghost, she's got an app on her phone that puts together, like they do on ghost hunting shows, sometimes it's radio static, that sometimes forms into words, and she's never had it work properly anywhere else. In here she's had, get out, go away, I don't like you, you're annoying. And again, maybe it's a personality issue.
And that in the Charlotte room, or just generally in the house?
So there's a particularly creepy little statue that we have of Emily and Emily and Charlotte in a little glass cage, and their little marble statues kind of sat looking very pensive, and it's always near that. And we also, at one point, someone got a bug checker as a joke, and it went off around that as well. So either there's some kind of mechanism built into it that sparks it off, or it's a deeply haunted little statuette set.
Maybe it's time to move the statuette.
Possibly, but it was donated and I feel bad.
Raffle prize.
We love your haunted ghosts. We'll keep them forever. The most recent thing that has happened is there's a little girl that came for one of our craft and chat sessions, here with her mum having a wonderful time, and she turns to her mum and goes,
"Who's that man smoking in the corner?"
And me and Charlotte look at each other because you get little puffs of tobacco smoke around the house. And initially we thought, oh, it's the people next door.
Yep.
Someone sat me down and said, Anna, are you smoking here? And I said, definitely not. So you get these little puffs of stale, like pipe smoke.
Yeah.
And the little girl said, oh, who's that man smoking in the corner? And we both turned around and said, no, that's not happening.
No, I'm not hearing this. It's not real. Oh my goodness.
I don't think that it's like a specifically haunted house. I do think old houses get, when you've got repeated patterns that kind of, they create grooves in the feeling of a space. So you get people, maybe after they've gone, doing things they did every day and little actions that still stay. But whatever is in the cellar does not like being disturbed. So whenever I go down there, I say, hi, Gary, how's it going? I chat away at him.
Hey, I'm not staying long, Gary. I'm off any minute.
But I opened the door once, I think it was a couple of months ago, and it just... And I closed it and said, not today. No, I can't deal with this. I'll put the paint away when my friends are here.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So a few people who've stayed in Charlotte's room have said that they hear sounds at night, and I do think that's the neighbours next door.
Because you are attached, aren't you?
You
this
are
isn't a
attached
terrace,
there.
so the walls were not built like they are now with double layers between.
So on that
houses.
side in particular, this house was originally 2 weavers' cottages that were knocked together, and the front was replaced to make it into a kind of villa standing alone. But it was originally connected to all of those houses. So there used to be doorways that went through them.
Yeah.
So there are areas where it's very thin. So it is very much a part of that row of houses. So on that side, they're two separate walls with a gap in between.
Yeah.
So there's no sound travels through, but on that side it does in certain places.
So that could be the answer to the ghost question.
And the other thing is, as we discussed earlier, there is a door sealed off that used to lead from what was the children's bedroom
Yes.
into Nancy. Nancy and Sarah were the servants who lived here. And that was where you got through into their room.
Yeah.
So that door being sealed, which it had to be for health and safety reasons, because the building inspector came through and nearly fell straight down the flight of stairs. So
Because the other side of the door, if it could open, you are literally at the top of the stone staircase,
Yes.
aren't you? And the staircase is ever so narrow.
very poorly lit.
Poorly lit.
Yes.
And
So just for safety and to separate out the visitor parts of the house from the private parts of the house, it's nice to have that closed. At one point, there was talk of closing that room off, shutting off the staircase and turning it into a fancy bathroom. But I'm glad we didn't, because I love that staircase and it's a special
it's
part
a
of the
piece
house.
of history, isn't it? You can't mess with it too much.
100%.
And you don't need it. You have a bathroom in each of the rooms and it's
Yes.
enough. So it's not like it was taking in space of the actual room.
100%. But that door being closed, it creates a question and it creates a
Yes.
space that your mind wants to fill in.
And you start wondering what's there, who's there. And it was Nancy's room that I had my wobble when I was here as well. But me and my Emily, my daughter Emily, who's hiding around the corner, we were talking about echoes of lives
Yes.
in old buildings and how you go into an old building and you know there's history. And so straight away you're a lot more tuned into wind noises, creaks, the things you can't see, like behind the
100%.
door. So you have to put your imagination in as well into that equation. Just like to know that I am staying here tonight. I should have done this tomorrow.
We like to tell people after they're already inside and they can't leave.
Yeah, I've already got the keys and that's it. So I'm staying here tonight in the Emily room.
Yeah.
So that's the middle room. So fingers crossed, I won't feel, even though someone's giggling in the corner because she really hopes something does happen. You never know. It might do. We might answer the questions and find out that actually Gary is, I don't know, a cat that's been trapped in for the last 10 years that's trying to get out. We hope. So brilliant. Wow. You never know, there might be more stories. I mean, I know that some people have stayed here and have said to me, oh, I stayed in the Charlotte room and I felt this, I heard this. So, let's find out, because we could put the mystery to bed. We could find out once and for all what it is.
Maybe.
Who is Gary?
And what does he want?
Yes, what do we need to get out? Is it Gary that says get out, or is that the statues, isn't it?
I think it's the little creepy statues. And so the little creepy statues are upstairs. Gary is very much a basement dweller.
Okay.
So we could have multiple ghosts, or we could have a ghost that is comfortable using stairs. You
Or
never
they
know.
don't get on, which is why he's
Maybe.
downstairs and they're upstairs.
Very possibly. Very possibly.
We'll find out.
Yeah. But in general, it feels like a very friendly house.
Yeah, it doesn't.
If you know what I mean.
I don't get the EBGBs. I don't feel cold here.
Yet.
Yet. Oh my goodness, what are we doing? And then I look up and I see the hooks hanging off the beams. So
They're for naughty children.
yes. Yes. Child. This is CCTV footage from the parlour in the birthplace, and Anna has given me permission to use it. This was taken a week after I stayed at the property. As you can see, there is somebody stood in the doorway. There's an event going on in the other room. All looks pretty normal, but if you look at the table in the corner with the tablecloth on it, you will see some glasses and a decanter. Just watch what happens. So I've zoomed in so you can have a better look. And I've zoomed into the zoomed in so you can have an even better look. So it's very important, no matter where you stay, that you have a good cup of tea. So I haven't looked yet, but fingers crossed. Let's have a look. So we have our tea box. Oh, I spot bickies. So let's have a look. We do have biscuits. We have Brontë biscuits. My daughter behind the camera is getting far too excited. I think she's got her eye on these. And a selection. We have ginger. We have chocolate chip and vanilla. Yep, I think she's got her eyes on that one. Double chocolate and chocolate chip and orange. So yes, we're very happy with the selection of bickies. We have some coffee, little sachets of coffee. Decaf coffee, great. Sometimes you go to places and they don't offer you decaf coffee. Lots of sachets of milk, which is good. We've got sugars, white and brown, and this is the important, the tea. Let's have a look. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tea bags. Perfect. And we have some loose bags, and we have some English breakfast twining decaffeinated. So that is excellent news. So I'm actually quite pleased with this selection of tea. Yeah, let's have a look at the teacups. Do we have a decent sized mug? Yes, we do. Look at that. That's a good brew. Good brew. Happy about that. But the thing that's got me, and I know this is really pathetic, is the kettle. Yes, it is a kettle. It is not a teapot. It's a ceramic kettle. China. But it's got an element in it. So I'm not I can work out how to actually open the teapot. Oh, it's a twisty round. Yeah, how cool is that? So it feels like you're having a teapot, but you're having a kettle. So I'm going to be careful with that. There is a little note saying it gets hot, so we will be careful. Water, excellent. Teaspoons, excellent. So yeah, I think that's probably me sorted then, Emily. Would you reckon I'm going to eat all the biscuits?
No, I'm having one of them at least.
If you didn't hear that, she's saying she wants some. So yeah, we have a little nosy in the drawers. Oh, there's nothing in there. Just in case, you never know. Oh, a sewing kit in that one. And a big one at the bottom with nothing in it. But maps down here. More maps. Which is great because the amount of times you go somewhere and you don't have a map, or you don't necessarily want to use your phone. So I'm very impressed. Well done, Birthplace. We are liking what we see so far. So in my room here, the Emily room, I have this amazing box, and I really expected it to hold, you know, toys, books. You know, what would a Brontë house keep in a box like this? Cushions, a hairdryer, a fan, and something to put your dirty wellies in. But I was like really excited, thinking, oh my goodness, it's going to be like Brontë toys or first edition, something hidden away. But I bet it's seen a few blankets over its years. It's very old. It's got a very old keyhole there, but yeah, it smells lovely. And we have a selection of books, somewhere to hang, which is great, and a space there, so when you've got long hangy things, you can fit stuff in. So yeah, I'm really impressed so far. So should we go and have a look at the bathroom? I know bathrooms are not exciting, but you know, we all have to use one now and again. So let me spin around. Light on. Let's have a look. Well, hooks. That's another pathetic thing that I like. But the amount of time you go somewhere and there's nowhere to hang your clothes or your wash bags, so that's good. We've got a big shower with body wash and shampoo. Like it. Plenty of toilet paper and you know, the things that go on the floor that you stand on when you come out the shower.
Bath mats.
Bath mats, thank you, helper.
You're welcome.
Good sink, again with some nice hand wash. Wild fig and iris. A cabinet with a shower cap in, just in case. Yeah, lots of towels. Oh, they're nice. Yeah, I think I'm going to do just fine. Power shower for me tomorrow. Goody good. Right. And obviously we have a beautiful giant bed, which is great because I am sharing it with my little human of a daughter who is well known for being a bit of a wriggler. So there will be a definite separation, my side and her side, but she is the camera lady, by the way.
Sorry.
So we will see how it goes. But let's have a look, shall we? What have we got? We've got, oh, it's a throw, a quilt, blankets. Yep, nice and clean. Good selection of cushions. Right. See how we get on. Let's go and have a look round. Oh, and also I forgot to say, they've been so kind, they're allowing us to look into some of the cabinets. So I'm going to have a look now. I'll let you have a look too. So in the birthplace, they have these glass cabinets along one wall. And this is one cabinet here. These items are not from the Brontë family, but they're items that of that period in time. So she's very kindly said I'm allowed to open it. Oh, it's very easy to open, that's okay. Right, so I wanted to look at these beautiful gloves, but can you see all these tiny buttons? I mean, people would have hooks that were used so that you could do them up, because obviously they're very difficult, but it'd make you have very slender wrists because these were so close together. You think when that's done up, that would be like that. I mean, who has a wrist that's what, 1.5 inches thick? And then these are to open up the fingers of the glove. They're like crocodile clips. So you'd put them in. So that's beautiful. And obviously we've got some ribbon. And we've got this beautiful little teacup with a religious message on. This one says hope and this one says charity. So you can imagine, you know, you let your children drink out of these because it would encourage the religious stories that you're trying to promote. Look at this beautiful little bonnet. Look inside, it's all hand sewn. Look at the stitching. So it's nice to have these sort of cabinets. And obviously Thornton here, the book by William Scruton. To my friend Weber, and best wishes, William Scruton. Basildon, maybe I can't make that out, December 1898. And there even looks to be a bit of a thumbprint there. So someone over the years has obviously left their mark on the book. This is another case. I'm just going to quickly open it so you can see, because it's easier when you don't have the glass to look at. And it's just a few items really that have been donated. And the things I wanted to show you were the little boots. Look at the size of that. It's tiny, isn't it? How cute. And these little clogs. Could you imagine walking across cobbles with these like horseshoe style bottoms? You would slip everywhere, wouldn't you? And then we've got here an empty bottle of laudanum which we all know who would have liked that, and a pair of glasses, and there is a name on it. But all these items just helps bring the house to life, I think. It gives you an idea of what people were wearing, you know, what they were reading, their glasses, everything. I think it's beautiful. In this cabinet, I wanted to show you, I can't open it because it's locked, but these are items that were found in the house when they were renovating. You've got, you know, a box that a toy car was in down here. And then this here at the bottom, this is a piece of plasterwork that came off the room in what was Mariah and Patrick's room, the room that I'm staying in tonight, the Emily room. And you can just see that there? That's a piece of horsehair. So this would have been the original plaster that was on the walls during the time that the Brontes were there, because this was the method of plastering. And on it, you can just see down here and a bit here, some blue paint. And they think that was the colour of the room when Mariah and Patrick lived here, because these are all the wallpapers that have been put over the top, but they think that was probably the colour. I just quickly wanted to show you the artwork that's on display at the moment in the parlour. Some really beautiful pictures by a local artist. And I think it's a lovely way to make the room sort of like a community space, because it's showcasing someone's work. Hello, so it is now 20 to 9. We've been out for a lovely meal. We're back again. I've got my pyjamas on and a nice snuggly top on top. Not that I'm cold, it's just I like being snuggly, so I've put my big jumper on, and we've made a cup of tea. So yeah, and I've also chosen some biscuits. I am having choc chip and orange. Emily's already consumed the 1 pack of biscuits and she's got her eye on many more. She's giggling away. She's been finding it highly amusing. This bed is really very high. It comes up to like mid-thighs on her. So when she wants to get on the bed, she has to really climb up. So we've had quite a few giggles about that. Yes, I've brought my book with me, which is brilliant because I love a bit of a reading. But for people coming, there's no televisions here, which I think is brilliant because you don't need a television. You can obviously stream if you have your device with you, or do what I'm doing, which is reading a good book. And I am reading The Glassmaker by Tracy Chevalier. Really good book. She was talking at the Women's Writing Festival a few weeks back in Haworth, and I heard her talk about the book. I've read some of her other ones, so I was quite intrigued to read about The Glassmaker, and I'm really enjoying it. I recommended it to my book club. I'm about 3/4 of the way through, so I'd be quite happy to snuggle down with my BREW and read a bit more of that. It's very quiet. We know there's someone in the room behind us, but can't hear a thing. Obviously, the other side is the Charlotte room, which is the spooky room, and I don't want to hear anything coming from that end. Thank you very much, even though my Emily thinks it's going to be amazing if we do. She's already been sort of standing on the landing listening. And yeah, we're going to snuggle down and see how we get on, and hopefully we won't hear any bumps in the night. Oh dear. Anyway, I'll let you know how I'm getting on a bit later on. See you in a bit. So, time to go to bed. Snuggled. I've read a big chunk of book. Had a cup of tea. I'm tired now. I've had a really long day. Little one's half asleep already. I mean, she sleeps through anything. So even if there is a bump in the night, she won't hear it. She's, yeah, out for the count. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I won't be woken up in the night by anything. But it's been a nice evening. It doesn't feel anything bad in here at all. It feels quite cosy and warm. But it is weird to sit here and think this is the very room that Patrick and Mariah would have shared when they were sort of young and in love, bless them, with their family in the room next door. Oh, so yeah. And I wonder if they sat and looked at the fireplace like I was doing this evening. I wonder what was going through their mind. I wonder if Mariah knew when she was here that she was poorly, you know, that she didn't have long. I mean, she would have spent most of the time in this room, though, pregnant, to be honest, when you think about it. But, right, anyway, I'm going to bed now. I will see you hopefully in the morning, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and not scared half to death. Alrighty, night-night. Good morning. It is now the next morning and it's raining outside, I've just discovered, which I didn't know because we were so warm and snuggly here in our room, we didn't even hear it. So how was my night is going to be your question. Very good, I must admit. And of course I went to bed absolutely paranoid about ghosts. And I kept feeling like my face was itching and I was paranoid that it was, someone tickling me. But I'm sure it wasn't. I think it was just me. I did wake with a jump in the night. Daughter's laughing because it's her fault. Because she sneezed in the night really close to my head. And of course, I jumped out my skin thinking, oh, there's someone there. Of course there's someone there. It's her. She commented this morning that she woke up with the jump in the night, and as we mentioned before, she is a very heavy sleeper and it takes a lot to wake her up, so she was wondering what made her jump in the night because it never happens.
I think it was a ghost.
Hold on, I will ask her direct. Emily, what made you jump in the night?
Hello! I thought it was a ghost because I was fast asleep and then I felt like something had made me jump, like someone had scared me. And I felt like I leapt up and then, I don't know, it could be a ghost. Then I fell back to sleep again, so it's fine. But who knows?
Who knows? But my thought is, if you would love to encounter a spooky feeling, whether it be a ghost or an echo in time or whatever you would call it, spirits, supernatural feeling, whatever, then definitely stay in the Charlotte room. If you're a wimp and don't want that, like me, stay in the Emily or the Anne room, because in these rooms it doesn't feel bad. It doesn't feel, if there is a spirit or a ghost, whatever, it didn't feel bad. So yeah, that was my conclusion this morning. If you want to experience it, stay in the Charlotte room and ask for the spooky doll figurines. If you don't, then don't. But yeah, so I've just made myself a cup of tea. Here, another cup of tea, because that's how I work. And then I'm going to have a shower, so I'll be able to try the shower out. At the moment, they don't serve breakfast here because they're just starting out. They're hoping as they get busier, they're going to be able to offer breakfast in the little sort of cafe area downstairs. We did have tea and a slice of cheesecake when we arrived yesterday, so that was good. So they do offer, the little cafe experience, but hopefully they're going to be able to offer proper English breakfast one day. So when we head out, we will go find something nice to eat, but we've brought some snacks because we did know there was no breakfast, so we're going to have a snack in a minute. Right, tea time. Hello, so yes, I'm now in Haworth graveyard because the plan was we were going to leave the birthplace, come into Haworth, have a nice lazy breakfast, cup of tea, then we were going to have a mooch around, sit down somewhere nice and tell you our experience of the birthplace overnight. But it is bitterly cold. This wind is really whipping around my neck and I'm frozen already. It's definitely moved on from raincoat weather to woolly coat weather and I'm not really prepared for this. So what we've decided, we're going to do the rest of this filming at home in the comfort of my lovely, warm, cosy room where I can concentrate and not keep shaking. So yeah, let's go home. See you in a bit. So here I am setting up my camera, then there's that flash, and then I start talking. Hello and welcome back. Yep, my voice and the picture are really out of sync. And then we have me coming out the door, but something strange has happened to the camera. I'm suddenly gone really overexposed and bright white. Then this is me just messing up, thinking the door was unlocked, go to unlock it, and of course it swings open. So I said I would tell you my thoughts once I was back home in the warmth of my own room. And here we are. It's a few days later and it is really still very cold outside. So I think we made the best choice to leave when we did. It was not going to get any better. So having those few days was great because there are a few things I realised I haven't mentioned in the video. The first thing is Thornton, the village itself, is about 7 miles from Haworth. So if you want to travel between the two sites, it's going to be a drive or a bus or a taxi. It only takes about 15 minutes in the car, but obviously it's something to bear in mind unless you're a walker, of course, and you want to walk 7 miles there and back, which I did not. So yeah. The other thing to mention is I don't think Thornton itself is set up yet to have tourists. It's very much a village for the locals with a supermarket and things like that. There are no sort of little gift shops and no cafes and things like that. There are a good few places to eat and they've been listed in an information leaflet that was in the room, but it's not Haworth. So bear that in mind as well. Parking, however, a big plus for parking because you can park on the road outside the birthplace and it is free. Yay! Unlike Haworth where obviously it's quite expensive. The birthplace itself was really warm and really comfortable. The bed was brilliant, which is a must for me. I like to be cosy. And it was also spotlessly clean with plenty of towels and plenty of pillows. And to me, that is just as important. One thing to note though, there is no one from the birthplace on site after it closes downstairs. They do have an emergency number in the information. So if anything happens or if you need to get hold of somebody, you can because it's somebody within the village. But basically, you're in the house with the other guests in their rooms. There's no sort of groundkeeper. What's the word I'm looking for? Caretaker. There's nobody there during the evening. But also the rooms downstairs occasionally get used for meetings and events. So sometimes you might be up in your room and you can hear things going on downstairs, unless of course it is a ghost. Might well be. Could be ghosts having a party. Who knows? So the question is, did I enjoy staying there? Yes, I really did. And would I go back? Yes, absolutely. I think I would. Not in the Charlotte room though. There are still a few little tweaks I think they're going to work on. For instance, I felt the water wasn't quite hot enough. It could have been hotter. But then again, I do like to almost burn my skin off in the shower. And I think it will be lovely to have a breakfast there in the little cafe bit downstairs rather than having to find somewhere else. But I did know that before I went. And obviously I took snacks and we arranged to go out and have breakfast with friends. So that was fine. Dog. You can tell that the people that run the place absolutely love it. And there's so much care gone into building this accommodation side of things. And I really do have to take my hat off to the team because it's not been easy. But you can see all the work and all the love that they've poured into the place. So yeah, it was great to be there. I think I can honestly say I had a lovely experience overall. It helped that I was there with my little girl, and she's not little, but I was there with my daughter and we had fun and we had giggles. And of course we were talking about the ghosts and she helped me film. But it was lovely to spend time together, just us. And also, I think the house quite liked having children in the house, if this makes any sense at all. But when we went to our room and Emily came in and started chatting and putting her bits and bobs out, it felt suddenly very comfortable, almost as the house was like, okay, you know, this is a child, we'll look after you. I don't know. That was just a conclusion that we came to on the journey home. So here are my 3 questions. Number 1. Have you ever stayed at the birthplace? If so, what room did you stay in and what experience did you have? Question number 2, what do you think everyone kept feeling in the birthplace? Do you think it's an echo in time? Do you think it's a ghost, a spirit? What do you think it is that people say time and time and time again that they feel whilst they're there? And number 3, do you believe in ghosts, spirits, echoes and time? I keep saying the same words, but you know, it means so many different things to different people. Do you believe in ghosts and spirits and things like that? If so, have you had any experiences? I know there's a few people out there who I speak to on a regular basis that might have their own residential ghosts at their house. So yeah, tell me, what experiences have you had of ghosts and spirits and things? If you want to find out more about staying at the birthplace, I'll put some information in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. As always, it really does mean a lot to me that you guys come along week after week and pop up and say hello. So thank you so much. If you like this video, please do that whole likey, subscribey thing because it really does help me out and it lets YouTube know that we want to watch more Brontë content. Have a great weekend. Take care of yourselves. Keep warm. And I will see you the Friday after next for more Brontë adventures. See you soon. Bye.